Hey everybody, Adamsaurus here for another review, the second part of my metalcore review trilogy. This week, I have some bad news. The album I was originally going to do was by Shadows Fall, thus why I gave you the hint about it possibly being someone I mentioned in that last video, but I can't find the album I was going to review by them, so I picked another band from that generation that's a metalcore band. I picked God Forbid. They are a New Jersey metalcore band who started in the mid-90s. They actually are a bit older than most of the other bands I wanted to look into for this spot in the review as far as the spectrum of metalcore. So that's kind of why I picked them, because they're interesting, because they're a bit older than most of the other bands, but they almost exemplify to a T the middle period of metalcore, the more melodic death metal and thrash metal influenced stuff that I was mentioning. I was originally going to do their third album, Gone Forever, but I decided to do their fourth one. It's called 4, A Constitution of Treason. You see how that works? It's their fourth album, it's called 4. That's the kind of hard-hitting musical journalism I'm known for on this site. This is why you should all subscribe to me, so I can make connections like that for you. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This is their fourth album, released in 2005. It is called 4, A Constitution of Treason, has a dying Statue of Liberty on it. The concept of this piece is the end of civilization, which is a good concept, but we'll get to that when I get to the lyrical content. Musically, this is very much what I was talking about. The guitar work is very melodic death metal and thrash metal influenced, but there's the vocals and rhythm sections are very hardcore punk, but they also have a lot of groove to them, which I feel like a lot of the other metalcore bands of this generation, it was kind of a mixed bag of that. There wasn't much in the way of one or the other. Like, not a lot. I feel like the one thing God Forbid did really well is combine groove and the melodic death metal style guitar work, which is great. The musicianship to this is fantastic. Most of the songs are a nice mix of groovy rhythms with great melody and thrash guitar work. And there's also a lot more clean vocals on this than there was on their last album, which is a nice addition. Moving into the vocals in general, their vocalist uses a more traditional hardcore punk style shouting vocal. It works. It's not the most unique thing I've ever heard. He sounds kind of like Howard Jones from Killswitch Engage when he does his low register. This guy doesn't really do any high shrill shrieks or anything like that. It works. It's passable. It ain't the best I've ever heard. Other than that, it's good. It's good. This album is solidly constructed as far as music and vocals. Now, the lyrics are... Here's the thing. I knew this was a concept album getting into this, and I've always struggled with concept albums. Like, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. And I also... this has nothing to do with the album. This is my copy. It feels like somebody spilled, like, iced tea or something on the pages of this, because they're, like, sticking together, and it's disgusting. But, like... it's very politically charged, a lot of this, from what I'm reading. Like, just, like a big anti-war sentiment, which is fine. But, again, my pages are sticking together because someone spilled iced tea on this or something. I bought this album at a yard sale, so I have no idea why the pages are sticking together. I'm hoping someone didn't, like, pee on it and leave it out to dry or something. That'd be disgusting. But, long story short, it's a nicely written concept album, but sometimes when you're listening to it, you're not 100% sure where they are in the story. From what I understand, what I've read about this, the concept lyrically is that humanity basically destroys itself, falls into a post-apocalypse, and then it's rebuilt, and then destroys itself in the same way again. I get it from what I've listened to here, but I have a hard time following where it's going, if that makes any sense. Like, I have a hard time following the story. That's the only real weak spot that this album has, other than the fact that some of the songs blend together. That's the other thing I want to mention. I mentioned that the music was solid, but it does at times lack identity. Certain songs blend together for me when I listen to this. It's enjoyable, but if you would ask me to tell you the name of certain songs, I'd be like, nah. The one with the in it, that's kind of, you know, they got a lot of the same rhythms for certain songs, which works. Overall, it's a solid album that's worth listening to if you are interested in bands like Killswitch Engage, to a lesser extent August Burns Red, Shadows Fall, All That Remains. This band was right there with all those bands as they came into the scene, and they do decent work. I recommend it to you, but the lyrics are a bit lacking, and I find the song structures for some songs to be a bit repetitive, but other than that, it's good. If you want a good concept album about the end of the world, I recommend Funeral of God by Zao. They did a concept album right, in my opinion. Not that this is a horrible concept album, it's just not as easy to follow, in my opinion. That is basically my verdict. I give this probably a C+, maybe a C. C, definitely a C, not a C+. I recommend it if you're interested. If you like this kind of music and you've never listened to God Forbid, check it out. If you have already looked into them and you don't like them, then this isn't going to change your mind, probably. I've heard that their later stuff's actually a lot heavier, so maybe I'll look into that sometime on the show if you guys are interested. This has been Adamsaurus, and this has been a review on the second type of metalcore. Feel free to give this video a like and subscribe, and tune in next week for the last part of it, the modern metalcore section. Alright, you guys have a great night. Farewell.